going on there, YouTube? David here again, coming at you guys with a video response to Derek Tant's 1,000 subscriber giveaway contest he's got going on right now. If you're not subscribed to Derek, go do so. He's got a lot of really good videos. And he's also doing an amazing contest here where you just answer a series of questions, and each question you answer gives you one entry into his giveaway, and he's going to have a grand prize winner who just wins a box full of stuff, and then I believe it is 5 runner-ups that get $50 gift certificates to whatever pipe or cigar website will be best suited for whatever country they live in. So that's pretty cool. Before I get on to the questions, I'm smoking some Mississippi River in my Morgan Pipes Blackjack Classy Diplomat. Really enjoying this pipe, actually. I didn't think I would, but I actually really like it. Mississippi River is good as always. But without further ado, let's get to the questions. So the first question is, what is the greatest band or musical act of all time? So my answer, I've got them written down here on a little notepad, is going to be kind of a twofer, just in case he doesn't accept my first one, because it's a musician, not a band. But my all-time, I think the greatest musician ever, at the very least one of the greatest, is Chuck Berry. I mean, who doesn't love the song Johnny B. Good, right? Awesome song. He's got a lot of other really great songs too, and just really incredibly innovative, not just for that time, but in general. I mean, I don't know, and those of you that were maybe around back then, maybe comment down below and tell me whether I'm right or wrong on this, but I don't believe another musician came along that did anything close to what he was doing for a good decade or more after he first started up. So that's going to be my all-time, I think, all-time greatest musician or band. If he doesn't count because he's not technically a band, then I'm going to have to go with Journey. I mean, Journey just transcends generation after generation after generation. I mean, if you were to go up to, a teenager nowadays and say, oh, who are some of these, big bands that were big back, 50, 60 or more years ago, they're probably not going to have a clue. But you go up to them and ask them who Journey is, and even if they don't know a lot about them, more than likely they're going to be able to say, oh, that's the band that does Don't Stop Believing. So if Chuck Berry doesn't count, then Journey is going to definitely be my secondary choice. Moving on to the next question. If you had to only smoke 3 or 4 blunts for the rest of your life, what would they be? For me, it's going to have to be Frogmorton Cellar is going to be at the top of that list. Love Frogmorton Cellar. I could smoke it all day, every day. I love it, I love it, I love it. Next one's going to be Lane 1Q. Just another all-day smoke. Not as enjoyable to me as Frogmorton Cellar, but a really good basic aromatic that just tastes nice. Mississippi River is going to be another one. I'm still having issues getting to where I can keep it lit for longer than a few puffs, especially when I'm talking. But when I can get it going and the full flavor comes out, it's just really, really good. The last one, since he said 3 or 4 blends, is going to be Cult Blood Red Moon. Again, really, really nice aromatic. I like Lane 1Q more, not because the flavors, not because I prefer the Lane 1Q flavor to the cherry flavor, but I don't know, it just, for whatever reason, I like it better. Alright, moving on. The third question was, if you were on your deathbed and there was one thing that you would regret not doing or taking care of, in the case of you being on your deathbed, what would that be? Not sure if this is going to count, because one of the stipulations he had was that it couldn't be something you've already resolved. But mine is not always doing the best I could for my family, my wife and my son. And the reason I say I'm not sure if it's going to count, because I always try and do that. I always try and do my best for them, whether it's making sure I do good at the job I'm doing or whatever it is. But I feel that it's something active. Like, it's you always have to keep going at it. It's not just a one-time situation that, one and done type of thing. So I'm hoping that that counts, since it's something you always have to keep working at. So that would be definitely something I would regret if I didn't always do my best to provide for my family. The fourth question is, if you could have a drink, a beverage with any member of the YouTube pipe community, what would that drink be? Who would the member be, and where would it be? For me, it's going to have to be a big, nice, tall, ice cold glass of sweet tea with Scott from Aristocob at whatever restaurant he says has the best sweet tea over in his neck of the woods in North Carolina. My reasoning for this is, I had the privilege of working over in a kind of rural Virginia for a few months, and hands down the best sweet tea, just in general, wherever you went, you could get amazing sweet tea from a gas station. Just amazing sweet tea. If you haven't had sweet tea from either like Virginia, North Carolina, or South Carolina, you haven't had real sweet tea, just plain and simple. So it would have to be sweet tea while I'm hanging out with Scott at whatever restaurant he thinks has the best food, as well as sweet tea. Alright folks, that's going to do it for this video, and happy smoking.